Tonight, we take a look at India Night, a cultural celebration put on by the Indian Students Association.
Then, Beaver athletes prepare to show you their stuff off the field. Find out what hidden talents our athletes have.
Finally, a booth in the quad is looking for a cure for blood cancer, and all you need to do is sign your name. We'll have all that and more on tonight's episode of the Beaver News.
Good evening and welcome to your Monday night edition of the Beaver News. I'm Megan Davis.
And I'm Theo Hendrickson. We're glad you can join us for our first show of the season.
On Saturday night, the Indian Students Association presented one of the biggest cultural nights at Oregon State University, India Night. This event celebrated rich Indian heritage through music and dance, which was presented to the Corvallis community to raise awareness about Indian culture. Bollywood music was played throughout the evening to help cultivate the culture's unique expression.
As the story.
This past Saturday, the Indian Students Association of Oregon State University hosted their annual India Night at LaSalle's Stewart Center. This year's show featured several different types of entertainment, from Bollywood dances, singing, and even a fashion show at the end of the night, showcasing several different types of traditional Indian attire. OSU students and community members of all ages attended India Night 2013, and along with the show, were treated to an Indian meal at the intermission. Co-presidents of ISA, Rupa Sharam and Naveen Nanja, talked about the importance of India Night and bringing it to the OSU community.
I would say that our motto for ISA is unity through diversity, and so if you looked at the crowd tonight, the crowd was extremely diverse. It was people who'd been to India Night for tons and tons of years, and it was people who had never been before and had showed up for the first time, but they were all here, just to witness this celebration of Indian culture and food, music, dance. And it was just a fun night, and we want to entertain people, but at the same time give them an idea of what Indian culture is more than just, people say Bollywood is the big thing, but tonight if you looked at the performances, it was a wide array of stuff, way more than just Bollywood, and I think it hopefully got people to appreciate Indian culture.
I think it brings people of various backgrounds together to build one community, and I think that sense of community is very important.
This has been Emily Shute with the Beaver News. Now back to you in the studio.
The event was hosted by fraternity Sigma Beta Rho, who informed the Beaver News that all the proceeds from the night's pre-ordered tickets, including 50% of the proceeds made at the door, went to SOS Children's Village in Caratogo, a specific village chosen at the request of the SOS organization.
Corvallis police are still investigating the death of Oregon State University student Matthew William Anderson. The 23-year-old student was found by his girlfriend, who told the 911 operator that he wasn't breathing when she found him. Upon arriving to the scene, paramedics failed to revive him, and Anderson was pronounced dead upon arrival to the Good Samaritan Regional Medical Center in Corvallis. Anderson was a senior in School of Civil and Construction Engineering, and authorities are still investigating his cause of death.
The athletes of OSU are prepping to show off their talents, not on the field, but on stage. Tomorrow, April 16th, our athletes will showcase their talents in the Other Side Talent Show and Silent Auction. The event will take place in the LaSalle's Stewart Center, and doors will open to the public at 6:30 p.m. The night will start with a silent auction, which will be followed by the talent show at 7 p.m. A donation of $5 or a donation of elementary school supplies, such as pencils or crayons, are requested upon entering for the show. These school supplies, as well as 50% of door proceeds, will go to benefit Crestline Elementary School in Vancouver, Washington, a school that was destroyed in a fire earlier this year.
Former Oregon State University football player Ben Motter has been charged with several counts of theft, robbery, and burglary in varying degrees. According to police reports, charges against Motter also included unlawful possession, delivery, and manufacturing of heroin and a fireworks offense. Motter is accused of stealing DVDs from Kmart and Grocery Outlet and burglarizing a house in Corvallis. Grocery Outlet employees told police that Motter has stolen more than $100 in DVDs. An eyewitness claimed Motter acted violently towards employees when confronted at the store before he fled the scene in a red Ford Explorer. He remains in the Benton County Jail on bail for $270,000.
OSU's annual mock rock event brought down the house Friday night, finishing off a week of fun activities with a rocking lip sync competition held in Gill Coliseum. Held by OSU's Kappa Delta sorority, Mock Rock is a yearly fundraiser that raises money for the Center Against Rape and Domestic Violence, as well as Prevent Child Abuse America. By the end of the week-long event, Kappa Delta raised nearly $42,000 to help fund these programs, as well as spread awareness of domestic abuse, violence, and rape. So far, this event has been OSU's highest-grossing philanthropic program to date.
One Oregon State faculty member is getting national attention by being named to the first ever 2013 Trans 100 list, a list featuring the top 100 most influential transgender people in the United States. Quo Lee Driscoll is an assistant professor of women, gender, and sexuality studies and is developing a new curriculum in queer studies at OSU. This list was first created by the website We Happy Trans, an organization aimed at telling the positive experiences of transgender people. This list also supported by the group This Is How, a Phoenix-based transgender advocacy organization.
Bone marrow transplants are life-saving for those who are diagnosed with blood cancers such as lymphoma or leukemia. The program Delete Blood Cancer DKMS has recently partnered with the OSU community in an effort to increase bone marrow donors. According to DBC, a person is diagnosed with blood cancer every 4 minutes, and someone dies from the disease every 10 minutes. One student has taken it upon herself to help change those odds. Today, we spoke with Krista Collins, who is leading the charge to get students signed up to register themselves as bone marrow donors and to possibly help save a life.
People always ask, hey, I would do something if there was a cure for cancer. This is the best we have for a cure for leukemia and blood cancer and other blood diseases. This is a chance to actually save someone's life, and it's so important that we do because this is their last chance at life, and we can give people a second chance at life. So first you get to learn more information about it. The second part is actually filling out a registration form. So it'll go through all your information and then you get swabbed. So a cheek swab is basically taking one swab, swabbing your cheek and putting it into a little envelope, and that's your tissue type that gets sent into the National Registry.
Basically they just swab the insides of your cheek for each cheek for about 15 seconds, and you have the potential to save someone with cancer's life in exchange for about a week of your pain for their entire life. And so that's a little bit of your pain to save a lot of people a lot of emotional and physical pain. Basically, you could cure someone that has cancer.
We can all do something to help, and this is something actively you can do.
Krista told us that their goal this week is to register at least 300 students, and they just might surpass that goal, having already registered over 150 from today's booth alone. Haven't had a chance to sign up? The Delete Bone Cancer booth will be in the quad through Wednesday.
Students can register as a bone marrow donor at the booth or online at deletebloodcancer.org. This will put you on a registry for patients who need a genetic match for the bone marrow transplant.
Don't have the money to pay off those old library book fines? The Corvallis-Benton County Public Library will be accepting food donations in lieu of past library fines between Monday, April 15th through Saturday, April 20th. Donating one can or package of non-perishable foods can take $1 off of your library fines. This drive originally started in December of 2011, and last year's event brought in about 1,800 pounds of food. All of the food donated will be given to the Lynn Benton Food Share in Albany, and this year, the library aims to raise over 2,000 pounds. While you can only donate up to $5 worth of food per library card, what better way to get rid of that library guilt than by giving to those in need?
The Associated Students of Oregon State University's primary elections ended Sunday night at 10 p.m. Now only 2 presidential tickets and 2 Speaker of the House candidates advance to the general election. Congratulations to our candidates Brett Deaton and his running mate Victoria Redmond, who advanced with Jackson Lyle and Robbie Ohanneson to general election. Competing for title of Speaker of the House will be Elena Christie and Thomas Bancroft. Voting was supposed to end Friday, April 12th, but due to nearly 1,000 Into students being unable to vote, the election end date was extended until late last night. This year's general election will take place from April 21st at 10 p.m. to April 26th at 10 p.m. The Beaver News encourages OSU students to vote and make sure your voice gets heard.
When you visit a museum, you're looking into history, a space of time, and place different from our own. But this summer, OSU will offer a course which will study and portray these time capsules of history in a different light. DHE 399, Dress, Museums, and Popular Culture will attempt to deconstruct how museums and clothing affect popular culture. The class will be taught by Gina Reeves D'Armand, who will focus primarily on historic and cultural dress, museum studies, popular culture, and history. The lead project in the class will be a pragmatic learning opportunity for the students by allowing them to create their own exhibits. Students can choose a specific historical piece and pick out pieces to best reflect the time period they choose. This class is supported by the School of Design and Human Environment's Historic and Cultural Textiles and Apparel Collection, which can be found in Milam Hall.
Oregon vineyards produce more than 40,000 tons of grapes for various wines, but 35% of the grape is left over, usually left to rot in compost piles. But scientists right here at OSU have begun turning that waste from vineyard grapes, also known as pomace, into biodegradable, eco-friendly products. According to the university, researchers here at OSU have successfully created a way to turn leftover grape pulp into flower pots. Scientists also say that because pomace is so rich in fiber and antioxidants, it can also be turned into things like flour for bread and muffins and food supplements.
And Alzea nurse practitioner Mary Ann Carr will receive the Sheldon Wagner Public Health Service Award for her years of service to the community at the Alzea Rural Health Care Facility. This award is presented to the person who has demonstrated an outstanding spirit of compassion, dedication, achievement, and commitment to improving public health in the Benton County area. Carr has worked in the area since 1981 and is the only health care provider in Alzea. Carr staffs her own community clinic, along with providing her medical services to the local Alzea School District. Well, we'd like to close out our Monday night show with a brief sports report from what's going on in Beaver athletics.
Our number 6 ranked Beavers left the Utah Utes high and dry in Friday's baseball game with a win of 1-0 and knocked it out of the park with an 8-3 victory on Saturday before closing the season with yet another victory of 4-1 on Sunday. Junior Bo Day made starting lineup on Saturday and Sunday as the designated hitter, making most out of the opportunity with a 4-for-4 with 2 runs halved on Saturday, and a 2-for-3 with a double and 2 RBIs on Sunday, making him an instant crowd favorite. Our OSU Beavers baseball team now preps for a tough road ahead, playing 5 games in 7 days, beginning on Wednesday at the University of Portland.
Thanks, Megan. Well, that's just about all the time we have for you tonight. I'm Theo Hendrickson.
And I'm Megan Davis. We're glad you could join us this evening.
For more of your Beaver news, be sure to watch us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at Beaver News. Have a good night.